going really well because last Friday I was actually thrown out of my own recording studio because we had a huge amount of snowfall only up on big altitude. Nevertheless, it was snowing, so the reception was and the signals were just so. We just had right now the valley is the French Alps is looking absolutely amazing. All you can think of from white to blue to green to orange to brown to red to silver. Every single color of the is just beautiful. But right now we're going to go back and continue with part 2 of Saturn Return, which is oh my God, you are in for a huge, massive finale here. This is the slide that I'm going to start with. In case you don't know me, my name is Mariett Ramm, and I'm an Astro coach and I'm an Astro artist, and I help spiritual entrepreneurs grow their footprint through a combination of charts, analysis, and predictions. I'm not only an astrology scholar for the last 30 years. Yes, I'm an early starter, but I am a very analytical one as well. I'm a clairsentient and a claircognizant with access to Akashic records and a descendant of long line of Eastern European healers. So you can clearly have me as your compass. And yes, I want to guide you and navigate you along this amazing journey to where you're supposed to go. So where we left off on Friday evening, we left off with Helen. Helen is a lady. She's a mindset coach. She is a cancer survivor, and her amazing journey. We talked about her amazing journey in the first part of this series. So I'm going to put the link down below so you can rewatch it. And if you rewatch it, please put a hashtag replay on there. And if you are watching right now, put a hashtag live and just say hello. I really want to welcome you. And if you are watching it a replay, again, hashtag replay. So I know that when you actually manage to catch the show, what's resonating with you, is the best possible time to scream and come on live for you guys. This information is just amazing. So to recap, second Saturn return is as the Saturn kind of goes through the orbit. It's a very slow kind of rolling planet. It takes its time, definitely. So by the time you're kind of reaching 58, 60, that is the second time coming around. It's actually going to stop in exactly the same position where Saturn was when you were born. This is the time when something really significant happens to you. This is the time when the rose-colored glasses are coming off. Something's really shaking the grounds, but really shaking the grounds. And that karmic debt that's been accumulating over the years, it's time for the repay. And the consequences of your past actions, they are definitely coming back. This is not a small thing. This is a huge, massive thing, and it brings clarity, maturity, and a profound and deeper understanding of yourself. So have a look at Helen's chart. Her Saturn is in the second house. If you look at the little circles, 1, 2, the second house is where her Saturn landed. With second house, you think about the followings: self-worth, values, resources, money, possessions, belongings, beliefs, ownership, and also the physical body itself. Now, look on the opposite side and look at the picture that is on the right-hand side. You have got a little VX on there. And if you look at the Saturn in the second house and this little VX, so you're looking at 2 and 8, number 2 and 8, these two are kind of opposite. And what is this VX? VX is basically your vertex. Vertex is linked to fate, is fated encounters and fated events. Now the vertex can basically be positioned in different houses to different people, again according to birth chart. And the vertex is something that activated is activated by another planet. Now, it could be something within your chart with one of your planet or planetary positions, or it can be activated by someone else, by a partner, by a business partner, a romantic partner, a child, anyone. So vertex is something that absolutely. And her vertex in the eighth house, what does it actually mean? The eighth house is shared resources. The eighth house is rebirth. Rebirth in a way of Phoenix moment here, burning really down to the ground and emerging. Okay. This is a house of very deep, is something compelling and powerful dynamics that are really going down to the depth and the depth and the depth of the psyche. Often, when the vertex is activated around this area in the eighth house, it's such an evolution for the person. We are talking about loss here. We are talking about deep psychological transformation and an exploration into what is deep, what is hidden, what is just so challenging that you're almost just afraid, just really afraid to talk to. These things are just so hidden that you don't even want to admit it even to yourself. This is the deepest house of the entire zodiac. So if you've got vertex here, oh my God, if it's going to be activated, you're definitely going to go through just such an amazing transformation and life lesson. Her vertex here is also in Gemini, which I think is very, very interesting in a way that Gemini's got the ability to communicate, to really clarify situations here, to come up with ideas and to present these ideas with clarity, to present ideas with to give instructions, to really kind of see the pros and the cons and debating on the viewpoints, and almost like gaining a position as a spokesperson, really. And it's really funny because now Helen is actually a spokesperson herself. She is very careful in, I'm talking about Helen here, but this position here is very careful about the facts and calling the facts as they are. Here we are talking about a very clever communicator who are really presenting the facts as they are. So instead of going down, oh, what can be and this and no, let's keep it to the facts. What is it? And if these communication skills are not prominent in you, you really have to, and you've got this position, you really have to be developing these talents, because when you can go on a generalized kind of go off on a generalized tangent, so to speak, and you can't really make your point that clear, and you fail to achieve that mental ability and flexibility, you may just lose the kind of that single goal of where you are going. So you really need to have that intellectual kind of flexibility and diversity here. And yeah, absolutely, when you look at who Helen is and you listen to her and her work, it's just completely her. Going back to her Saturn in the second house is also in Sagittarius, which means the Sagittarius way is Sagittarius Saturn is always on a mission. So it's when she is when Sagittarian Saturn is doing something, is always for the greater good. It gives a deeper sense of justice, and it's also a when the roadblocks are presented, it's Saturn wants to expand consciousness into knowing these roadblocks. So yes, there is a time of disillusionment, illusionment. Well, my tongue is breaking. So just feeling disillusioned in adult life through crisis, through choices, through various events and various circumstances that kind of thrown into you. So in a way, Saturn is kind of throwing it back into your way, but in a Sagittarius way, you are getting those life lessons, you are getting those eternal truth of about your being your authoritarian person, and the decisions that you are making for yourself, what those just and true decisions that you can make for yourself, because that's going to serve the greater good. And I think this Saturn position for Helen, it just sums up so well of who she is, how she managed to survive her journey in the second return over cancer and coming out on the other side. And now she is mentoring, coaching, and guiding women along the path of if you are going through the journey. And yes, if you are going through this journey and if this message is resonating with you, please reach out to Helen. The link is in the comments below. Reach out to me, because this second Saturn return is something that you can actually consciously prepare to. And it's just when you've got the tools, when you know where you're going, you'll be so much more equipped. Yes, I can actually handle this. And if you haven't got your NATO chart, okay, let me bring you back that one again. If you haven't got your NATO chart by any ways, please come on to my little group here, Astrology House, on Facebook. It's an absolutely vibrant community, all astrology enthusiasts and people who are just want to learn and want to evolve and want to get the blueprint. So every single Astrology House member, okay, I'm going back to the position, they are getting a free natal chart, just because I just so grateful and blessed that you are here and you are supporting the community and you want to grow, and in a way you are helping me grow as well, giving out this amazing message to people that can really use it and just grow. So please join, reach out to me in a DM. I'm going to send you a beautiful chart, just like the same as Helen's. I normally make it very personal in a way that what's resonating with you and who you are, in a way where you're going. And this is something that you can frame, you can print out and frame. And the other chart, if you are an astrology fan, addict, enthusiast, you can really just dive into it, because the amount of information that is actually presented, there's a lot more than you are just seeing right now. So yeah, you want this, you definitely want to have this. And right now, yes, this is going to be amazing. When I was putting this show together, I was thinking about that the two life examples are really great, but I really want to have a celebrity here. And somehow, one way or the other, just Oprah popped into my mind. And then I started to look at her natal chart, her progress charts, look at her Saturn return. And I thought, okay, let's see what actually happened to her about around the age of 2011, 2012, because that was the time of her second return. Okay. And I was going, oh my God. So please, hands up if you ever watched, heard, read anything about the Oprah Winfrey show. Hands up. And I would be really kind of just stunned if you haven't. This was a show that really dominated American television and national television, international television for that matter, for 25 years. This was a show with so many awards, internationally and nationally, with some amazing guests like Elizabeth Taylor, Michael Jackson, Tom Cruise. I nearly said Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes, Celine Dion, Who else? G. King, Oprah's best friend, who appeared on the show, I don't know, hundreds of times. And Oprah also went into some really, really, really deep psychological issues as well. And she had Dr. Phil on the show. Hands up again if you are a Dr. Phil fan. I certainly am. This guy is just fabulous. I think I'm just going to have to do have to do his natal chart one day as well. So in 2011, Oprah decided to walk away from the show, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, what's happened?" And it's not that as if she did not have viewership, if no one was interested in the show. In fact, everybody wanted more of Oprah. And this is the queen of daytime television. And she just decided to, no, this is not for me. And yeah, I mean, you can see some pictures about her, and I mean, she did so much media coverage around that time because everybody wanted to know why. Why are you doing this? And she was, the pictures are just so really speaking into really the depth of the soul. Is she was crying, she really looked just heartbroken. Some of the footage that you can see, it's something that just shook her ground. So going into her chart, what was actually going on with her when she had this Saturn return? First of all, is let's just say that her Saturn is the 10th house. The 10th house is career, it's legacy, it's everything that you work for in your active lives. Yeah, 25 years as the daytime TV queen, she's suddenly walking away. Absolutely massive, massive, massive groundbreaking thing going on here with Korea. Now, the Saturn, one aspect here that is very interesting, and you can't see it here exactly because this is what I call the beautiful chart. Her sun and her Saturn is actually forming a square here. So her sun is in the second house. You can see the little circle with a dot in the middle. It's where her sun. And in the 10th house, you've got Saturn. That is basically a square aspect. Square is basically big, 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 big crash. And this is a time when it's basically we are within this position when we face our limitations. And she's actually a hard worker. She's a very, very hard worker. And when this hardworking Saturn and the vitality and the self-expression sun kind of comes together, it's a challenge that confronts really the fear and the insecurity, while really pushing the person to take responsibility for the action. And it demands of just getting out of the comfort zone and embrace those necessary disciplines that are going to manifest dreams. She did talk about that this show somehow it really kind of boxed her in, and she didn't feel that there was growth in there. She kind of felt stuck in a way, which this Sun and Saturn square could very much relate to. And also, this aspect initially brings obstacles and limitations into lives, but it serves as a catalyst. It kind of pushes the person into an evolution. It pushes that something that is really holding them back, something that is making them still making them resist change, and encourages that person to confront those restrictions and evolve into that stronger version of themselves. And if you listen to if you hear Oprah talk about, she talks a lot about her past. She went through such a really, really super tough past, and she very often brings this up. And it may have been something that subconsciously was just so engraved in her. And this Saturn return, while everything was going through with her career, initiated something in her that was so profound, that was really hitting these points that were going through back decades, and it might have been not just decades, but also played a role in her previous life as well. Another aspect to look out for is she's also got a Pluto Mercury opposition. You'll find Pluto in the 8th house, and it's in its own house. So Pluto feels here like, yeah, baby, I'm running the show. And you've got literally Mercury, the chatty information planet, right opposite. Why is this important? Is when these two planets are kind of not kind of they are opposing one another. It's got profound effect on the communication, on the thinking pattern, and the overall mental landscape. Yeah, think about it. Pluto is about transformation, really deep transformation with huge amount of intensity. And here it's kind of crashing with Mercury, the planet of communication and the intellect. This opposition brings forth a unique dynamic where the thoughts may be challenged or transformed. There is a deep, really, really introspection and self-discovery that's going on within the person, and it also comes with huge amount of massive emotions, and the person is confronting those hidden truths within themselves. Yes, Oprah's guests, I mean, she's had celebrities, but she's also featured a lot of psychologically and emotionally uh, challenging individuals during the shows. And I think there may have been something that was opening up a channel in her that made her confront these really internal, very deep hidden truths. And you will not hear anything about this on social media, in mainstream media, because these are just so intimate and personal. This element also aligns a period where a person is really, really aware of what's going on. And that person is not afraid of going into what really touches them. It's like, uncover it, what's behind, let's go down to the depth, let's get dirty, let's just, get into this all. I am ready to go there. And she was in that position. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's very powerful. It's it's something that keeps you awake at night. It's something that it just tears you apart. And that was what she was going through. And yeah, we're definitely not going to see that. Another interesting point in her chart right now, her north node, and what you can't see here is a little asteroid which is called Chiron. Now, her north node is basically is a horseshoe shape, which is it's right on the number one. That's basically where she's going in life. And when Chiron is basically her wound. The Chiron is the karmic wound, and this astrology aspect, when these two are coming together, is a catalyst for breaking down old patterns, limiting beliefs, and emotional baggage. Anything that's just stopping that person from the true potential fulfillment. And also this is kind of, this alignment is a guidance of how to align with life purpose more fully. Now, Oprah's north node, of where she is going, it's all about the self. It's all about self-development. It's finding her true rule self, energetic self, where she can be absolutely whole as a person. And if you can think about it, yes, she's been interviewing these amazing celebrities and different types of, she touched some really amazing deep topics. But how much about her, as in Oprah. And she's just going on to that true self actualization right now. This is what's happening. And that's why she needed that change. Now, right opposite the North Node, you've got the South, which is a number one, is basically the opposite would be number seven. Again, you can't see on this particular chart. But this South Node is where she came from, where she is been carrying all that baggage throughout her entire life. This is conjunct here with Uranus. Uranus, you can see that planet here, Uranus, in Cancer on the number 7, very, very, very prominent here. And this alignment is a profound, profound personal transformation. This is almost like that Uranus here is obviously, the Uranus is the big innovation, the big kind of like, oomph, I'm just going to go out there and this is my time. I don't care whether you're coming or going. This is my boat, whether you are on or not. I'm going. So, so if you're on it or not on it, I don't care. And her past, in a way, it's time for her really to leave that past. This position is about, you know, that all those societal norms, all the expectations, and all the, everything that was kind of placed upon her. She's saying that no, it's not it. This is my own path here. But at the same time, it's really amazing because here there is a lot of emotion here and also a lot of one-on-one emotion. So I would not be surprised if she would go more deeper into, and we could see that in a way of some of the interviews and some of the, yeah, we could say that that right now very notorious. I don't want to go into the Meghan Markle and Harry interview on that level, but yeah, that's another interesting conversation for another time, because there is Oprah one-on-one, a lot of emotions, a lot of depth, and a lot of connection when it comes to the emotional maturity and nurturing, and guidance to people. Yeah, I'm actually going to do a live show about that. I think that could be really fun to explore. But back to her, Uranus is, unexpected events, encounters that shaking up lives and in a very extraordinary way, and sudden awakening and epiphanies. Really, that is kind of just a huge spiritual awakening and moment. And I just couldn't be happier for Oprah. Really, I know it was a very tough time for her, but also I think she is just evolving into this really beautiful, enigmatic, just beautiful, soft soul that I don't think that we actually experienced over her TV queen days. So God bless her. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm just so happy that we, we actually managed to finish this off without any circumstances. And before I go, I'm going to have to show this because a very good friend, Witch Fest, is coming up. It's going to be on the 29th, 30th, and 31st. Vicky is an amazing friend, an amazing professional, someone with deep insights into spiritual knowledge about people, about businesses. And this is just going to be so much fun. And I'm going, and I want you to reach out to Vicky. I'm going to tag her in the post as well. And just come and learn and network and just do a lot of witchcraft over this Halloween. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, and right. Sorry, Oprah, I'm going to say bye-bye to you as well. Thank you so much for watching. And tomorrow I'm back with a live one-on-one. And then I'm going to be back with something really amazing that's just going to be just blow you away. Until now, have a good one.